loves, and welcome to today's Pick a Pile Tarot video. We have 3 piles here today, and what we're going to be discussing within these piles is what are your current blockages. So if you've been feeling lately that your manifestations haven't really been coming through, or you're feeling kind of out of balance, or you're not necessarily feeling yourself, maybe things just aren't really going your way, lots of resistance, we're going to go ahead and dive in deep, see what's going on, what your blockages are, so that we can kind of help alchemize them. So we're going to use both tarot and oracle cards today to help alleviate whatever blockage this is, or at least give you some awareness to say, hey, this is something you haven't really been looking at, and it's actually impacting your life way more than you would think. So let's go ahead and get started. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. We have 3 different crystals to correlate with each pile, so if you're someone who likes to choose crystals with your intuition and have that pick your pile for you, we've got 3 here. We have our selenite for pile number 1, we have our black tourmaline for pile number 2, and then we have our angel aura quartz for pile number 3. Go ahead and take your time, meditate on these cards, and I will see you at your pile. Alright, hello my lovely pile number 1s. So let's go ahead and figure out what your current blockage is. This is for you if you've chosen the beautiful selenite. Okay, I haven't looked at these cards yet, so let's go ahead and dive in deep, see what's going on. Okay, the very first thing that I can see here is talking / gossip, even just like airing out certain things that's going on with your life right now. I feel like maybe you are oversharing, or maybe you are telling little white lies, or maybe you're inflating a situation. Maybe you're not making a situation as big as a deal as it should be. Maybe you're kind of brushing something off as, oh, you know, he spoke to me that way, but it's okay. Or, you know what, he's doing these things, she's doing these things to me, my work is doing this, but you know what, it's okay. It's not even that big of a deal. I just see here with all these swords cards so much conversation and communication, and it being misconstrued, or it's not being taken the right way, or maybe it's negative self-talk. This could be negative self-talk, but I really feel it's more so that like we may be gossiping and oversharing. We may really be having a difficult time holding our tongue. Maybe we're in the crosshairs of a situation and we really are just kind of trying to navigate it, and maybe it's difficult. So we do feel like sharing it to people. We do feel like talking, but just remember that sometimes when we talk to one person, talk to another, and as days go by and everything like that, energies change, we can sometimes relay the information in an incorrect way. So making sure that we just are staying true and authentic to ourselves. We're not necessarily fabricating anything. We're not lying to ourselves. We're not lying to anyone else. We're just being very truthful. And even just knowing when to kind of not speak, or not put your 2 cents in, not put an opinion in, especially if you find yourself getting into a lot of drama lately, a lot of arguments. Like I see a lot of drama or miscommunication, or people taking things the wrong way. So let me go ahead and break both of those cards down for you a little bit. We've got the 7 of Swords here. That's just like the mischievous, rebellious, sneaky, secretive kind of energy. And then we also have the 5 of Swords here, which is someone being unfair, unjust, not playing, you know, nicely, not playing fairly, making other people feel isolated, making other people not a part of the conversation, or something like that. And then we also have here, it's almost like we have a little bit of 2 blockages. I wonder if they go hand in hand at all, but we do have a blockage in terms of like perhaps success. a blockage. Maybe we have like fatigue, like lack of motivation, lack of physical exercise, lack of grounding. I'm just really sensing like if you're trying to push forward, that's like been a blockage for you. Maybe you're a very heavy procrastinator. Maybe you bite off more than you can chew, and then when, you know, it gets to the deadline or the due date, we're falling short. Maybe we are over-promising and under-delivering. There's just lots of things here where it's like pumping the brakes, pumping the brakes, pumping the brakes. So with that, we have here the King of Wands, a very fiery, dominant energy. This person knows what they want, very disciplined, very reliable, very spontaneous, passionate. You just have to think of the energy of fire. And then we have the card of Aries, which is it's time to take action. So we have two action-taking cards in reverse. We have two cards that are just clearly like, hey, this fiery energy feels like it's fizzling out, or maybe it's non-existent, or maybe we're working on rekindling that kind of energy within us. Maybe we need to be more comfortable with the element and the energy of fire and what that symbolically represents. But right now, again, because we have that card saying it's time to take action, but it's in reverse, don't force anything right now. Don't beg. Don't try to orchestrate something. If there's a manifestation that you're not getting right now, it just very well may not be the time for that manifestation to come to you, and that's okay. And you have to learn how to accept that, even if you have due dates, even if, you know, you're in a very crucial time right now. You have to almost kind of give some things up to the universe and allow that divine timing to be divine. This could also be like you not necessarily taking action upon your word. Like, you know, a man's word is everything. And if you say something and don't do it, I feel like that's also, you know, something that can contribute to low self-esteem if you are struggling with low self-esteem. But yeah, just kind of saying I'm going to do something and not doing it, or pulling out, or not committing as much, or something like that. There's just kind of a weird energy here where it's not allowing you to go forward. There are roadblocks in your way. Things keep messing up, and everything like that. And right now, again, if you're trying to force or beg anything, manipulate anything to come your way, the universe really needs you to stop that, because you do not get your manifestations through manipulation and coercion and trying to, you know, quicken the pace of things. You have to allow these things to take its course, okay? Let's go ahead and flip over a brand new card for you guys to kind of see if there's any words of healing here for you to help with your blockages. Okay. I'm not going to read reversals for the oracle cards. We have the first one, Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love. Remember when I was talking about grounding? I feel like that's exactly what we have here right now. Oh my gosh, and then we have fire. That's crazy. We were just talking about all this fiery energy. Okay, so I feel like these are like two different groups. So let's start with this first one. So Sacred Earth Mother. If you're feeling like you're being left out, if you're feeling like you are oversharing, if you're feeling just not necessarily yourself, out of balance, definitely get back in touch with Mother Earth. Get in touch with Mother Earth. Literally, physically, go and do this. So this could be you sun gazing, you moon gazing, you star gazing. This could be collecting moon water, sun water, drinking that, or bathing in that, you know, creating a space for yourself where you are incorporating lots of different elements of the physical world to help heal you, okay? Getting outside, walking barefoot, being grounded in that sense where you can literally exchange energies with Mother Earth from skin to skin contact. You can garden, you can eat healthier, whatever it is. You can even just start to pray to or honor Gaia, you know, the energy of Mother Earth, and just be grateful and accepting of her healing nature. And I feel like that's going to allow you to become more true to yourself, because whatever's going on here with you having conversation and you talking to other people and them misconstruing it, or you getting in trouble because you were gossiping or oversharing, whatever it is, you're not really in touch with yourself right now. And I feel like this card is here to show you, like, you have to get back into who you are, your authentic self, a truer version of yourself, because you may be feeling these things temporarily because you're perhaps overwhelmed with emotion or whatever. Maybe you're lashing out and you're not being aware of it, but that's not the real you. That's not the authentic you. The true you, the higher self version of your being would not necessarily gain anything by doing things like this, keeping secrets or telling other people secrets or talking bad about someone behind their back or whatever it is, or even being a listening ear to those who are gossiping, because sometimes we are not the ones who are talking badly about others, but we sure do listen to a lot of it. And if it's, within our friend group and it's not being called out, maybe it's time to check that. Maybe it's time to honor yourself, honor the friendship, honor some boundaries and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we have been talking about this one person for a couple days now. Like, let's give it a rest. Like, let's let this girl's energy rest, this boy's energies rest, whatever it is, my boss's energy. Maybe I'm talking crap about them. But definitely give it a rest and get back in tune and in touch with yourself, and do so with the physical elements of earth. So we're talking fire, water, air. What am I missing? Fire, water, air, earth, and earth itself. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm losing it already. Earth, fire, air, and water. Okay, make sure that you're using those in your practice. Now let's talk about more of the fire, right? Because now we have this whole entire fiery section that we have to talk about for you. So it says flame tree, the start of something new. Okay, maybe you are like having a project or something to do with your success where you're like, if I just keep pushing, we're gonna make it. Maybe it's time to trim the fat. Maybe it's time to hang up your coat. Maybe it's time to just kind of give it a rest, give it a pause, and not touch it right now. Maybe it is time to start something completely new, or come to, this same issue that you have with a completely different perspective, willing to try anything, okay? Willing to just take a leap of faith. Because when we have flame tree, that is almost like, the element of fire is both creation and destruction. So there are some elements that sometimes have to be destroyed in order for new life to take place. And if you are feeling like your success is burning out, you're burning out, if it's just not, coming to you in the flow that you're wanting, or maybe how it used to flow, then definitely think about, what can I destroy right now? What can I let corrode so that something else can take its place? Because right now it seems like you're beating a horse, or beating a dead horse with a stick. And it's just like the same thing over and over and over and over again. And we need that newness, okay? So allow things to take its natural course. If things are gonna, die off a little bit, that is fine. Let's not freak out over that. And just allow things more so to happen. Allowing things to actually take its own course, rather than trying to get ahead of it, try to get in its way, and it's still resisting us. And, whatever we're doing to like stop it is not stopping. Just surrender and literally accept what is here. Because sometimes we also get in this trap, especially if this is in regards to success for you. We get into a trap where we're always moving forward, looking for potential, looking for a future, visualizing something that is beyond us, that hasn't come to us yet. And we forget to take a look and just examine and be in and live in what we do have right here, right now. So perfect example, take a look at what you have right now, currently, in this area of your life, and live in that fully. Live in it fully. That way, you are not trying to chase something that hasn't happened yet, because that can be really hard. It's like dangling a carrot stick, right in front of the horse. You're gonna want to say, you know what? Instead of me running and chasing and getting tired and now I'm thirsty, I'm gonna just sit and wait, and then the universe is gonna bring me that carrot, I bet. So same thing that we have going on here. This is all that I'm seeing for you, my lovely pile number ones. I hope that this brought you some clarity. I hope that this brought you some balance, harmony, alchemy, whatever it is. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to let me know down in the comments below. Or if you're looking for a private one-on-one session, then definitely do not hesitate to set one up with me. You can always go to mystiqueawakening.com, hit private sessions, and then have a one-on-one with me. All right? I love you guys very much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Hello, my lovely pile number twos. This is for those of you who have chosen the black tourmaline. So let's go ahead and dive in deep with your spread here. I haven't seen these cards yet. Today we're going to go ahead and discuss what your current blockages are. So let's go ahead and see. Okay. To me, like, what just came out was choices and their consequences. Choices and their consequences. Choices and their consequences. And let's see. Yeah. I feel like you guys are gambling with life a little bit. I feel like that, you know, with the luck is on your side in reverse, with the Pentacles card in reverse. I was going to say, obviously, finances when we have a Pentacles card. But I think it's like not necessarily, it could be finances, but I'm feeling like, again, it's just the whole concept of gambling with life. It's almost like you guys are like, screw it. You know, F this, screw that. I'm gonna just, you know, do whatever I want instead. Maybe you guys are really, 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 really into, I don't know, your darker shadow self right now. Maybe you're in like your Lilith right now, where you're just feeling like, you know what, I haven't really felt or seen the light. Maybe I'm losing faith in humanity. I haven't, you know, seen this light in a really long time. I don't think that anyone's authentic. I think that everyone's lying, or everyone's out to get me, or maybe it's just that it's been a long time since you've gotten a break, right? Like an energetic break. Maybe the universe has been putting you through a lot lately, and it's just turned into a mood for you. Instead of like a temporary lesson that you learn over time, it's like, oh my gosh, I'm starting to look at life through a different lens. And I feel like you've definitely earned the perspective that you have currently. But I think that deep, deep, deep down, you know that this is not a perspective that you want to hold on to for very long. I think that you have a perspective right now that you're using as protection. To, you know, make sense of the world or to tap out of the world. But right now, again, I feel like you are gambling with life. I feel like you are just maybe being extra rebellious, daredevil. Maybe you are just loving instant gratification right now, loving escapism right now, loving substances right now, loving just short, you know, tiny bursts of excitement and endorphins. But when it comes to anything long lasting, that's like taxing for you. That's like very like tiring and draining, and you just basically crawling out of like whatever funk or mood you're in, whatever darkness, whatever dust, whatever it is, you clawing your way out of that is very difficult. And it's almost like you have been like, can someone just please take me out of this? For those of you who are single, you're just like, I want a partner so that I can, you know, I don't have to feel these things anymore. If I have a partner, then I'm going to be happier. If I have a partner, my whole entire life is going to be glowing with sunshine, and I'm going to do all these things and everything like that. I'm daydreaming of the person I will be once I have someone else. That's not necessarily probably the best. It's like, that's one of the, again, like that's one of those perspectives that it's like, maybe it's helping you kind of right now, but it's not necessarily really helping you in the long run to have that kind of perspective. Because as we know, everything that we always need comes from within, right? So I know it sounds so, you know, annoying to hear that when we're in a state like this, but sometimes it still needs to be said. For those of you who are in a relationship, I think that your partner's trying really, really hard. And maybe they recently even gave up. Maybe they were like, whatever, screw it. If you feel that way, I feel that way. And now it's like leashed onto them, where now they are kind of acting out in a way, and you're just like, what in the world? Like, we keep fighting, we keep arguing, like things aren't, you know, meshing well. I heavily think that their behavior is a direct response to you. And I think that when they go out with their friends and their family, it's like a big breath of fresh air, and it's like a sigh of relief, because I think that I really do feel, for those of you who have a relationship right now, a romantic partnership, your partner is kind of happier when you're not in the room. And it's not mean, it's not bad. Don't cry and get frustrated and have a panic attack, but you have to be aware of all the little things that you may be doing right now that are inconsiderate or inconvenient or aren't really aware because you're in a funk, right? But at the same time, we cannot use that I'm in the funk to, you know, display bad behavior or have an excuse for the way that we're acting. There comes a time where enough is enough, and I do feel feel that your partner feels that way. And I do think that they would really appreciate, just like you would appreciate, you know, having your tone be different when you talk to them. If you can't necessarily provide something for them, like chivalry, like if you can't really do gifts and dates right now, that's fine, but do something for them that is a sort of act of service. I think that they're really wanting that out of you. Not necessarily that they're like, oh my gosh, you know, if they do the dishes or clean the house, I'm going to be so happy. It's not really that. It's just that you're showing some initiative, you're putting something forth, and don't do it because, you know, it's like, well, this is going to put a smile on their face, because maybe, you know, you doing the dishes for them one day is not going to alleviate all the stress that you have right now as a couple. But just, you know, remember, be aware of people that you live with and everything like that. So for those as well that resonated to, but you don't have a significant other, that could very much sound like roommates, friends, anyone that you live with, family members, things like that. So take that into account. Are you holding your weight right now? Maybe it's time for you to have a little bit of a refresher. Maybe it's time for you to clean. When's the last time you cleaned? Okay, pile number 2, because I'm feeling like a lot of your physical resources are hanging by the wayside, and you may be suffering through a bit of depression, honestly, is what it kind of looks like. Maybe you don't really feel like going to work. Maybe you are making less money right now. Maybe you are very insecure right now. Maybe you are, you know, not taking proper care of yourself with hygiene or maintenance on your car or paying school loans, whatever it is. Pile number 2, I would say that you are definitely in need of a detox. That's probably why you chose black tourmaline. Now, I chose that intuitively because I'm looking at these cards at the same time as you. So that black tourmaline is all about detoxing, right? Sometimes it's not about how we can feel high, how we can feel high, how we can feel high. Sometimes it's just us releasing the waste, dumping that waste that we've been carrying on, you know, holding on to and carrying with us. If we release that waste, then we can finally just naturally elevate and get to a normal, natural high, without as many substances, without as many instant gratifiers as, you know, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever it is. Okay? So I think that it's time for you to unburden yourself from the load and do that with a spiritual practice. Now, I can say detox baths are great. If you want to do like some sort of like detox smoothie, juicing, flush, I don't know what it is, whatever you feel called to. You can even do like a fasting. There's so many different ways that you can detox. You can do a smoke cleanse. You can do a prayer. You can do a meditation. You can go do Reiki, whatever it is. Please choose one or a couple of practices that you can do that will help spiritually, energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally detox you. Because that's what you really, really need. You just need a little good scrub. It's not that your whole life is flipped upside down. It's like you just need a little scrub and you be good, okay? And then remember to have awareness of the others around you, because however they're reacting or responding or behaving around you, I'm telling you, is at this point in your life is a direct reflection from you. Sometimes people talk, you know, and do things around you that are negative, and it's not always a direct reflection towards you, but this time it is. So be aware of that. I'm going to go ahead and take one more card from this deck. Let's see, maybe there's more, but we're going to go ahead and use this oracle deck to see how we can kind of help this. We already talked about detoxing, but let's see if there's more. Oh, and that was too many. That kind of fell back there. So I'm gonna leave that there for a second. And we're just going to read these 2 that fell out here on the table. So first thing we have healing, reconnecting with your true nature. I told you you weren't being true to yourself. You weren't being like the you. You're being like a darker side of you, which is still you and is still authentic to an extent. But a lot of the times when we're in a funk and we're feeling depressed or we're feeling low or we're feeling just not ourselves, it's really time to get back to a portion of yourself. Do so through the heart space. Start to, you know, whenever someone is going through a depressive kind of mood, or they're finding it really hard to kind of get going in life or find a routine, regimen, or ritual, then at that time you really have to gauge like how many hours you're spending doing something. So like, for example, take today, take tomorrow, take 3 days, or even up to a week, and say, okay, Monday, this is how much time I spend watching TV. Monday was 5 hours. Just like log it in your head, write it down. I would actually recommend you writing it down, but if you're just trying to go through it in your head very quickly, See how many hours you spend cooking or cleaning or going to school or going to work, how much you spend with your animals, how much you spend going out, having fun, partying or socializing, whatever it is that you do. I want you to kind of calculate how many hours of your day that you're doing that and see if you are like way, way, way over, you know, saturated in one area over another. And where you are oversaturated, start to take a little bit less time of your day or your week doing those things, and you're going to find yourself with a more expansive day with, you know, time that seems to be multiplying, and you can use that time to do something that you desire. Okay, that's why we're getting into the heart space. Whatever it is that you like to do, whatever brings you joy, whatever touches your soul, whatever gets you in the zone, right? Whatever gets you in the zone where you don't have to think about much, but when you do it, you're just like, I am here living in the moment. That's exactly what you need to be spending more time doing if you find yourself oversaturated in one area, okay? Next thing that we have is the dream. Something is revealed, insight, and breakthrough. Good. So this is just kind of letting us know a bit of a confirmation that moving forward with this, if this is something that really resonated with you and really hit you and you're like, okay, I'm waking up now, thank you, Mystique, then make sure that you're paying attention to your dreams. Things can be revealed to you in your dreams or just with your third eye. If you are very spiritually intuitive and you're just in the know with yourself, you might have some more insight that is going to result in a breakthrough, some sort of realization where it's a light bulb moment, something clicks and you're like, okay, I got it, I'm feeling good. Maybe that's the whole reading. That would be great. And if not, then take it outside of the reading and see, you know, what it is that you have to be aware of, I guess, but it's going to fall into your head. You know what I mean? So this is all that I see for you, my lovely pile number 2s. If you have any questions about what you heard today, do not hesitate to go ahead and leave me a question in the comment section. And if you're looking for a more one-on-one type of reading that's specified to you, then do not hesitate to go ahead and book one with me. You can always do so at mystiqueawakening.com, click private sessions, and then go ahead and get a session with me. I love you guys so, 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 so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. All right, hello, pile 3. This is for those of you who have chosen the Angel Aura Quartz. All right, so pile 3. Today we're going to go ahead and discuss, kind of set that down a little hard. Today we're going to discuss what your current blockages are. So let's go ahead. I haven't seen what is in your spread yet, so we're going to go ahead and reveal it together. The very first card, we'll do it one by one. Okay. Oh, everything really just came out very clear. You are very, 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 very burnt out right now. That's like a blockage. That is the blockage itself. Now, I'm not sure if you're putting all this pressure on yourself. I have reason to believe that you are. Maybe you're not delegating how you should be. Maybe you're over-promising, under-delivering. Very similar to another pile as well. So if you felt drawn to 2 piles today, then you might hear a little bit of a similar message. But very burnt out, maybe not necessarily feeling like things are progressing at all. It's almost like you're like, I'm stuck on the first step, I'm stuck on square one, and I've been here for a long, long time. And it's almost like making you feel like giving up and just quitting. And, you know, I feel like you're really, pile number 3, about to like pull your hair out. I feel like you've been trying so many things to eradicate a situation or get yourself, you know, like, or get your situation right, get your finances right, your career right, your schooling right, a relationship right. Maybe you're trying to make a family, trying to get that right. Whatever it is, I really do feel that like you are at your wit's end, about ready to give up. And some of you might even like be crying right now as I'm saying this because it's like some sort of validation. But I see you. It's very stressful. It's like you've been left in the dark and you've been trying to find your own light or make your own light or whatever it is. And it's just been debilitating for you. So I'm so sorry, pile number 3, that you've been going through that and feeling that kind of despair or loss or grief or anguish, really. Again, yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry. I just keep feeling and hearing the same words over and over again from spirit. So The Nine of Swords talks about our self-talk. So maybe that's where we should kind of start. Whatever self-talk you have right now may be extremely toxic or negative or just not conducive to your journey right now. Maybe listening to other people's opinions about you, other people saying what you should or should not be doing, how you should or should not be acting, what you should or should not be saying, whatever it is. I feel like you listening to other people's opinions right now, that can just... you can take that concept and throw it out the window, because right now you are in a state where you are kind of panicking or just feeling like you are losing grip right now of the security of your life. And because of that, you really need to sit down and talk to yourself. You need to sit down and just be with yourself. Everybody else is going to offer you just noise at this point. There is just a truth that you have to discover within yourself, and get to that point with yourself. Face your truth, face your fears, face your success, face your failures. I think you really need to like sit down and face it all, because again, listening to anyone else is not going to give you answers. Okay? It's not going to give you the answers that you need. And there may not even be very many like specific answers to help you in this spread today either. We're going to give you clarity, but I feel like you are just looking for an answer, looking for someone to tell you what to do so you can just do it and find that success or find that happiness, find that joy. That's a backwards way of going about it, because the world does not work like this, which everyone always thinks that it does, right? The universe and the energy does not work like this. It's not what your external surroundings are. You know, it's not the external that defines the internal. It's not like that at all. That's reverse. What happens is we have energy within ourselves and we push that out and we push that out and we push that out. And that is what, you know, gives us our law of attraction. Whatever is going on inside of us, whatever is going on with us, is then going to create what we see outside of us, okay? Not the other way around. We as humans oftentimes get that mixed up, and when we do that, it's literally like, it's just not going to work. It's just not going to work that way. So if that visual kind of helped you, take it. If it didn't, confuse you, leave it. That's fine. It was only for some people. But we really do have to start saying, okay, whatever is going on in my inside, I'm going to start seeing on my outside. So let me figure out what I can do on my inside to then help the outside, right? Because it's just going to be a side effect at that point. Taking on a lot of responsibility, not knowing when to let go. There are certain things, there is a lot actually that I feel like you can let go of. A lot of limiting beliefs that you have right now you can let go of. I would even suggest doing like a journaling or scripting thing where you're like writing out like all the negative things that are in your head, all the intrusive thoughts that are in your head. And if you fill up a page or a couple, that's fine. Keep writing until your hands hurt. Keep writing until you feel better. Keep writing until you feel a release, whatever it is. But I think that you need to like actively like physically get something out of your body. So if writing is what's going to help you, then do that. If exercise and getting into your physical body is going to help you, then do that. If you got to get into a sauna and sweat it out for a couple days, then do that. But you really need to be letting go. Like your grip right now is so tight on something, whatever that is, a possibility, a future prospect, whatever it is, you're holding on to something very, very tightly, and it's causing you to ache and it's causing you to like bleed, and you need to just be able to gently let go and release. And that kind of energy, that, you know, thinking that way is going to allow certain aspects of your life to instantaneously help themselves, because a lot of the times in life we don't need to physically be the one doing something, changing something. You know, we don't always have to be doing something to have an effect, okay? We can say at times when things are overwhelming, you know what, this is way beyond my control. And because it's beyond my control, I'm going to give up trying to force anything. I'm going to give up trying to do anything, say anything, manipulate it into a different thing. I'm just going to let it be. I'm going to accept it as it is. I'm going to allow whatever this cosmic force is in my life that seems way bigger than me. I'm just going to allow that to happen, because if it's bigger than me, I'm going to just allow it to be relieved by something else bigger than me. That can work itself out. I think that you have to allow yourself to trust the universe to take care of the universe's issues, okay? Take care. It's got to take care of itself, okay? But let go. Whatever that means to you, it's time to start letting go. This could literally be letting go of physical things. If that's what helps your mind let go, do that. It doesn't have to be like, okay, I'm telling you to let go and you don't know how. It's like, you know what? Let go of some clothes in your closet that don't fit you anymore. Let go of, you know, the trash can that you haven't taken out in like 2 weeks. Let go of, you know, the holes in your shirt. You know, it's something like that. Just letting go of something at all will allow you to heal, get better, and get into a state of flow rather than resistance, okay? I do see that something is starting to come to you, some sort of blessing or miracle or manifestation that you've been wanting, job, promotion, a certificate, a degree, getting somewhere for schooling, going on a trip, whatever it is. You're very close to actually getting it, but you're just like psyching yourself out a lot. There is going to be this time where you just allow yourself again to surrender. And once you do that, you're going to find such a peace in that surrender that I think that's what's literally going to bring about that manifestation, that flow, that cosmic thing that happens that allows you to feel the happiness and the joy that you've been wanting. Now, I think that right now it's not a place for you to go from like despair and sadness all the way to happy. You have to remember that like there are different shades of emotions in between those two things, and you cannot expect yourself to jump from one to the other. But a good middle place would just be peace, existing in the present moment, and just finding peace, just being present, being in the zone, being here, being real, being now, being in the physical, right? Connecting to things that are happening in this moment that you can see, smell, taste, hear, touch. Because you getting into your senses, you getting back into this kind of reality, you getting into peace with the present moment will allow for you to find whatever it is that you seem to be seeking, okay? So let me just, leave that one as it is. And the last one that we have here says your hard work is paying off, and that's in reverse. So it's just kind of showing me that what you have been working really hard for has not necessarily been giving you the return on investment that you've been looking for recently. I'm going to go ahead and use these oracle cards to see if there's any other message that we need today to kind of help you heal, help you alleviate and alchemize whatever's going on with you. Okay. Spirit gave me a very big clue as to what you're going through, so that's going to be fun to explain. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't think they gave me one, they dropped a bomb and then they said no more. Okay, that's fine. You have the Sacred Journey card. Talks about life cycles, family, and transformation. Whenever I see this card, that is always letting me know that someone is in the stage of a journey where they're about to hop from one life cycle onto another, which usually means, like, you know the phrase when it's like, oh my gosh, I've lived so many lifetimes, I've lived so many lives. They lived only, like, you know, as far as we know, let's just take this one physical, lifetime, for example. They've only lived the one life. But because of all the different things that we go through in life, it can really make it seem like we're living multiple lives or that we've had so many lifetimes, okay? So with that, keeping that into consideration, we can hop from one to another. And it can feel a lot like maturity. It could feel like puberty. It could feel like safety. It could feel like protection. It could feel like lots of different things. But within that one cycle, you have completely new lessons that you haven't really gone through before. Sometimes if you are someone who feels like you're very hard-headed with life and you don't necessarily learn from your lessons quickly, you feel like you're going through the same life cycle over and over and over again because you just keep meeting the same kind of people, doing the same kind of things, eating the same kind of things, experiencing the same kind of things. You're stuck in your hometown, or you're stuck in a place, and it's just, you're doing such mundane things over and over and over again because you're not necessarily learning or changing any sort of behaviors of yours to break you into a new cycle. Okay. And once you're in a new cycle, now you're meeting, different kinds of people. Oh, I didn't even know this place existed. And oh my gosh, I'm feeling so different. And oh my God, this is a new lesson. I've never experienced this before. I've never had this challenge or difficulty or love for anyone else like I do now. So you're in a spot right now where you could kind of do the same thing over again, or you could hop into another one. And whatever you will do, you will do. This is just all about free will and choice and the decisions that you make and what you feel is best for you. It's not like there's going to come a day where the universe is like, okay, today's the day, depending on if you eat this cereal or this apple, we're going to change your cycle. No, it's not like that. So don't take it extremely physically, literally, but just know that energetically right now, you have been in the cycle for a very, very, very long time, and it seems like it may be coming to an end very soon for you, where you hop onto a new cycle. So that's all that I can see for right now. That's a potential, that's a high probability that you have, or depending on how the universe works and how you work with the universe, you could still go the same loop. I don't want you to get discouraged if you do feel like you're on the same loop. If you're like, well, I heard that that reading a couple weeks ago, and I'm feeling like I'm dealing with the same thing over and over and over again. Maybe I didn't get into a new cycle. That's totally fine. Sometimes we do that one last cycle to just do it all better, to just cross those T's, dot those I's, and make sure that we have everything the way that we really need it that one last time, okay? So that could actually be very fun for you because you're like, oh, I know how to do this. I know how to do this. It's almost like when we're in a video game and you keep dying and dying and dying and dying in the video game, but then like every single time you get a little bit more closer to like the actual end of that challenge. And when you do, sometimes you're like, okay, let's run it back. Let's just do it all over again. And then you start and you finish and you're doing things faster and you're more clever, you have more knowledge, you have more experience, you have more resources, right? You have more things at your disposal. You just are more experienced with that sort of challenge. So you handle it like a boss when it's introduced the next time. That is a great possibility that you also have here too, okay? I just needed you to kind of like see the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit here, because again, with that Nine of Swords coming out as the very first thing, yeah, that could be very scary. So yeah, pile number 3, this is what I have for you. I hope that this brought you some sort of clarity, some sort of balance, some sort of alchemy, anything positive for you. If you have any questions about what you heard today, please do not hesitate to go ahead and leave them down below in the comment section. And if you would like a one-on-one session or reading with me, definitely do not hesitate to do that. And you can do so by going to mystiqueawakening.com, clicking private sessions, and then booking one with me, okay? I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.